In 2026, we're saying hello to rich, warm, expressive colors and closing the chapter on Millennial gray. Look, it had a great run, but it's time. And if you're like me and you need to see things visually before committing to a new paint color, you're in luck. With Planner 5D, you can test colors in a digital replica of your space using exact hex codes to see how they would actually look in your room before making a decision. We asked our designers to share their predictions for where color is headed in 2026, and what stood out was a clear shift towards depth, contrast, and emotion. Let's take a look at what they're saying. First up, we have Alexandra, who focuses on how warm neutrals and muted jewel tones work together as a foundation. Warm off-whites, khaki, and rich browns like chocolate and mahogany create a grounding base. These tones pair naturally with wood finishes, stone, and textured surfaces, making them easy to layer throughout a space. Alexandra also thinks that muted jewel tones such as sage, olive, warm teal, dark plum, and soft charcoal add contrast without feeling harsh. Because these colors have warm undertones, they blend really well with natural materials rather than overpowering them. Alexandra's key takeaway is that palettes in 2026 are built for layering, balancing depth and warmth. Evelina, Planner 5D's principal designer, looks at color through the lens of atmosphere, focusing on how color interacts with materials. Deep reds like wine, burgundy, and oxblood create intimacy and warmth, making them well-suited for living rooms, dining spaces, and libraries. These tones pair especially well with natural wood, brass accents, and soft, warm lighting, all major trends for 2026. Teal and saturated blue-greens bring a quieter kind of drama. Used on cabinetry, vanities, or feature walls, they work beautifully with stone, concrete, and metal, replacing flat grays with something more dimensional. Softer tones like peach introduce warmth and subtle optimism, especially when paired with warm lighting and natural textiles. Even light neutrals evolve, with off-whites like Cloud Dancer offering softness that works well alongside wood and layered fabrics. Evelina's key takeaways here are that colors this year are heavily tied to mood, materials, and light. Natalia approaches 2026 color trends through practical layering, using Benjamin Moore's palette as a reference. Warm off-whites like Cloud White and Simply White act as flexible base colors pairing easily with wood, stone, and soft textiles. Pastels such as Wyndham Cream and Lily Lavender add lightness and warmth, especially in naturally lit spaces. While muted tones like Caldwell Green and Silhouette reinforce a connection to nature and work well with organic materials and relaxed finishes. From there, bold colors, deep blues, greens, purples, and warm rose tones appear as focal moments balanced by simpler surrounding materials. Natalia's takeaway is that colors in 2026 work across a wide range of applications, from muted backdrops to bold focal points. Our final designer, Vanessa, explores what happens when these palettes move into darker, more immersive territory. Brown tones remain central, but shift towards richer shades like mahogany and chocolate, often paired with textured walls, wood paneling, or patterned wallpapers. Plum reds and dark cherry tones are used with intricate blue and green wallpapers, creating spaces that feel layered and enveloping. Teals, deep blues, terracotta, charcoal, and earthy tones appear again, but the focus is on how they're layered with texture to shape more immersive spaces. Instead of relying just on contrast, color drenching is combined with texture, matte finishes, patterned surfaces, and tactile materials to create depth without visual noise. Vanessa's key takeaway is that darker colors in 2026 rely more on textures and layering rather than a flat application. These predictions show that 2026 is less about playing it safe and more about harmony, how colors, materials, textures, and light all work together. I know sometimes these trends can seem a little overwhelming, so at the end of the day, always remember that the best trend is the one that feels right for your space. So if you want Millennial gray, you do Millennial gray. Let us know in the comments which trend you are most excited for, and please give this video a like. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!